Hey, what's up guys? It's Josh here at Porter Valley Ranch. We are at the end of January, which means we are getting ready to go into our lambing season. That means that all of our ewes, or hopefully all of our ewes, have been bred. We are almost to the 150-day mark, and that means that the lambs are going to start hitting the ground any day. We raise Babydoll Southdown and Harlequin Sheep, which are both a rare miniature breed of sheep. And the main question we get this time of year is, how can I get lambs? So today we're going to answer that question. We're going to give you some tips on where you can find lambs, which ones you should find, and what you should do whenever you're looking to bring some lambs into your flock. So today we've got 3 do's and 3 don'ts for when to purchase lambs, how to purchase lambs, and how to bring them onto your farm. Number 1 do is do your homework. You cannot do enough homework when it comes to buying sheep. You need to know which breed you are looking for. You need to know which characteristics of that breed you are looking for, because sometimes even within a registered breed, there are some differences. For instance, our Harlequins, some of them have smooth faces, some of them have more fuzzy faces, kind of like baby dolls. So you need to know exactly what look you're going for, which characteristics within the breed standard you want before you make that purchase. The third thing that you need to know whenever you're doing your homework is which registry you are interested in. For instance, in the Old English Babydoll Southdown Sheep, I know it's a really long name. Most people just call them baby dolls, but their official name is Old English Southdown, Old English Southdown, Babydoll, Babydoll Southdown, any order you want to put it in. But there are at least 4 registries that I know of, and I think there's up to 5 because there's a new one coming onto the market. So you need to know, depending on what kind of animal you are bringing on or what kind of sheep you are bringing into your farm, you need to know what the registries are, what the differences are, and which one you're going to go with. Because some animals are registered with just one registry, and some of them are registered with multiple registries. Now, to get even more complicated, sometimes an animal that is registered with just one registry can be transferred into another registry, but again, it goes back to making sure you know which characteristics you're looking for. Some registries allow spots with the baby dolls and some do not. So you need to know which registry you're headed for and which characteristics you want. That way you can make sure they are registered in the right registry, or that they can be transferred into the one that you want. That brings us to our first don't. The first don't is don't bring multiple species or multiple breeds onto your farm. The reason for that is, although they look really good in an Instagram picture to have a lot of different kinds of animals and a nice little lineup of a photograph, you guys have all seen those. But what's going to happen is your animals are always at risk. They're always at risk of having infertility. They are always at risk of dying. So if you go get a breeding pair of breed A breeding pair of breed B, or a ewe from breed A and a ram from breed B, then it just might not work out. If one of those animals dies, you'll have a spare ram or you'll have a spare ewe. You can't breed the ewe to the ram that's a different breed, and then they won't be registerable. We always try to bring registered animals onto our farm, and we hope that you do too. One, if they're registered, they have a traceable pedigree, so you know where they came from, you know exactly what breed you're getting into, and you can make sure that you're not getting into crossbreeding. You want to make sure and look at both sets of papers and see that they're not too closely related. The other reason is because they sell for more. A registered animal sells for at least twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times the amount that an unregistered animal does. So you guys know our philosophy. If you're going to put in the time, you're going to put in the resources, you might as well get the most bang for your buck. So when those animals have a baby, you're going to be able to sell the animal for more if they are registered. The second do is do your research. We already talked about doing your homework. Now you need to do some research. You need to find out which breeder you want to buy from. Our second don't is don't buy from a sale barn. Now, sometimes you can go to a sale barn and you can find animals at a great price. Sometimes you can find an exotic breed that you didn't know you're looking for. But most of the time, what you're going to inherit is someone else's problem. Most of the animals that go to a sale barn are leaving a farm for a reason. Either they have a problem, a health problem, maybe they have a genetics problem, maybe they have a deficiency in some area, maybe they're infertile, maybe they come from a genetic line that has characteristics that you're not going to want. Most of the time when they go to a sale barn, you're going to be able to buy them cheaper. But that also means someone is selling their cheap. You have to think, why would this person want to sell their animals for less than they could make selling them on the open market? It's probably because they're just looking to offload them quickly, and that is probably something that you don't want to pick up. So once you've narrowed in on what species or what breed you want to go with, you're going to need to start doing that research. The number one place that we go for research is Facebook. Let's say you're looking for a Harlequin sheep, which are sheep that we raise. You need to go to Facebook. You need to look for a Facebook group that is called Harlequin Sheep. There are a couple of them. Go into that group and just start looking around. If you see people who are posting on a regular basis that look like they are well informed, they'll be posting pictures of their animals. Look for their animals, make sure they match the breed standards. When they are interacting with people and people say, yes, I agree with this person, it probably means that person knows what they're doing, and that is someone that you should look into trusting. It means they know what they're doing, which means the animals coming off of their farm are more than likely going to be healthy and match the breed standards of the breed you're looking for. The third thing that you need to do is buy quality over quantity. Again, you might be able to pick up an animal at a lower cost, but that lower cost is going to come at a cost to you more than likely. So I recommend that you buy a quality, good animal to start out with. If you're just getting into sheep, then I recommend starting with a small breeding flock. Do not buy one ewe and one ram. Again, those could cause problems for you. There could be an issue. I recommend going in and buying 2 or 3 ewes and 1 ram right off the bat. That way you start off with a little flock. These animals are communal animals. They always do better when they're with others of their species. Do not buy one at a time. That is not good for these animals. Make sure you're buying a registered animal. Make sure you're buying it from someone who knows what they're doing. They're coming off of a farm that is reputable. And that person, more than likely, if they are active on social media, whether it is YouTube, whether it is Facebook, whether it is Instagram, if they are involved in their breed, they're also going to be willing to help you out down the road. They'll be a great resource to be able to answer your questions, to be able to point you in the right direction if you ask something that they don't know. So buy from someone that you are going to trust long term to help be a partner in this breed. But always buy quality over quantity. Bringing a large number of animals onto your farm early on could cause you problems. Even if you have other types of animals, let's say you raise cattle or let's say you raise horses, when you bring ruminants in, which would be sheep and goats, they require a totally different kind of food, they require different minerals, they require different health care. So we recommend starting small, that way you can really zero in on that flock, keep an eye on their eyelids, make sure that their parasite loads are low, make sure that you're properly maintaining their nutrition. Also, if you have a smaller number of animals, those animals will usually be a little bit more gentle, they'll be easier to handle, and whenever you are wanting to really check those things day in and day out, they need to be able to be workable for you. So start off with a low number of animals, but really high quality, that way you get off to a good start. So once you've zeroed in on the species and the breed and possibly even the buyer or buyers that you're looking to purchase from, there are a couple questions that you're going to want to ask. Number one is, where did they come from? There are people who are animal brokers. They buy an animal and turn around and sell it in a very short amount of time. So if someone is doing that, I usually don't recommend purchasing from that person if you are a first-time sheep buyer. The registry will also help answer this question because on the registry it says which farms the animals come from and where their pedigree comes from. So if you see that it comes from one farm and there are 3 or 4 generations coming off one farm, that's usually a good sign. That means that these animals are well taken care of and that these animals have the characteristics you're going to be looking for. The second question is, what have they been eating? A lot of times if you're looking into show quality animals, they will be eating a specific type of grain, or if they are just pasture animals, if you're buying in the spring or the summer, they've just been on pasture or hay. But the other reason that you want to know this is because you do not want to change their diet too quickly. When you bring an animal onto your farm, you want to slowly transition them into your feeding schedule. So you are going to have to know what they were eating so you can keep feeding that and transition them into your plan. The third question you need to ask whenever you're purchasing animals is, what medications or vaccinations do they have? Now I know the word vaccination is a hot button all over the world and sometimes in the agricultural world. We recommend vaccinating your animals for certain things. We recommend worming your animals for certain things. If you want to go all organic, that's up to you. It's not the path that we've chosen to take, We provide medications when necessary. We do not give them if not necessary, but a lot of times they are necessary, and we definitely recommend vaccinating your animals. So you need to ask what they have had so you know what they will need when they come onto your farm. Now, to get a little bit deeper on the animals that we personally sell, we sell Babydoll Southdown Sheep, we sell Nubian Ibex, and we sell Miniature Harlequin Sheep. So we're going to post a link in the description below of 3 Facebook groups that you could go to today, and you could see exactly what's going on with those breeds. You could start interacting. A lot of times people will just put ISO, in search of, and you could say baby dolls in Oklahoma. You need to be careful on Facebook because Facebook actually has a policy where you cannot sell or purchase animals on Facebook. So if you say, I'm looking to buy baby dolls in Oklahoma, you're probably gonna get kicked out of that group, or your Facebook account might get suspended. You will go to Facebook jail. So put ISO and then what you're looking for, or even just ask the question, say, hey, I'm new to the breed, what should I know? I live in, and say where you live, and then people around you will start coming around you and they will start answering your questions. So right now it's going to be really hard to pick up breeding stock or adult ewes and rams because most people have already gone through their breeding cycle and they are going to wait for those lambs to start hitting the ground as we head into late winter and early spring. So the number one thing you're going to be looking for right now is lambs. The way that most people do it, the way we do it at Porter Valley Ranch, we have what we call a lamb waiting list. So if you wanted to purchase one of our lambs, you would email us and you would get on our lamb waiting list. You can get really specific. You can say exactly what type, what sex, what characteristics you are looking for, and we'll put that on our list. Or you can just say, hey, I just want anything. I'm looking to build my flock through lambs. Once those lambs start hitting the ground, we or the person that you go with on the waiting list will start contacting the people on that list, telling them, here's what we have, and then you will be able to purchase from those animals. So here at Porter Valley Ranch, we really love our sheep. We raise the miniature sheep, the harlequins, and the baby dolls, and we recommend those for any hobby farm or any homestead in America. They're a small size, so they're easy to handle whenever you need to handle them. They have a good disposition, they're very gentle, they're also easy to care for. So we really recommend those for any farm, and if you are interested more in buying those sheep, we highly recommend it. You're always free to reach out to us. You can email us or you can comment below, and we'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. This video just kind of scratches the surface, but again, I hope it helps you out on your journey.